The Tyrannicides were two Athenian men, Harmodius and Aristogeiton, celebrated for their role in the assassination of Hipparchus, the brother of the tyrant Hippias, in 514 BCE. Their act was later mythologized as the beginning of Athenian democracy, and they were immortalized through one of the most famous statues in ancient Greece. While their assassination did not immediately overthrow tyranny, later democratic leaders in Athens used their story as a symbol of resistance against oppression. Origins of the statue and its symbolism. After the fall of Hippias in 510 BCE, Athens transitioned to a democratic system under Cleisthenes. To commemorate Harmodius and Aristogeiton, the Athenians erected the first public political monument in history, a bronze statue group in the Agora of Athens, sculpted by Antiphanes around 506 BCE. This was a radical departure from earlier Greek sculpture, which typically honored gods or victorious athletes. Instead, this was a direct political statement celebrating the idea of democracy and citizen-led resistance. However, this original statue did not survive long. When the Persians sacked Athens in 480 BCE during the Greco-Persian Wars, they looted the city and took the Tyrannicides statue to Susa, the Persian capital. Rather than letting this act of cultural erasure stand, the Athenians commissioned a new version of the statue, this time crafted by the renowned sculptors Critias and Nesiotes around 477 to 476 BCE. This replacement became the definitive form of the Tyrannicides monument, showcasing both artistic and architectural advancements in classical Greece, architectural and artistic innovations. The second version of the Tyrannicides statue represented a major evolution in Greek sculpture and architectural integration. Unlike the earlier, more rigid archaic style, the new figures displayed greater naturalism and movement, characteristic of the emerging early classical period. Dynamic composition. The figures of Harmodius and Aristogeiton were posed in an active forward-moving stance, one arm raised to strike and the other hand holding a sword. This dynamic portrayal broke away from the traditional stiff poses of archaic kuroi or young male statues. Contrapposto stance. The sculptors use contrapposto, where one leg bears the weight while the other is relaxed, adding a sense of balance and realism. This would become a defining feature of later classical and Hellenistic art, public space and political messaging. Unlike temples or funerary monuments, the statue stood prominently in the Agora, Athens' central public space, reinforcing its political significance. It was meant to be seen and internalized by citizens daily, integrating art into the democratic experience. Replication and influence. The composition of the Tyrannicides statue influenced later Roman art, as copies were made and displayed in Rome. The theme of heroic political resistance became an enduring motif in Western art, inspiring future public monuments dedicated to liberty and democracy. Later, history and legacy. When Alexander the Great conquered the Persian Empire in the 4th century BCE, he ordered the original Tyrannicides statue, which had been taken to Susa, to be returned to Athens. This act symbolized Athens reclaiming its democratic ideals after periods of foreign domination. Even under Roman rule, the statue remained a powerful symbol of freedom against tyranny, reinforcing Athenian identity. Later, Roman emperors, especially those who sought to associate themselves with Greek democratic ideals, created their own versions of the Tyrannicides monument. The influence of this statue extended beyond antiquity. Its imagery can be seen in modern representations of revolution, from French revolutionary art to American civic monuments. Conclusion. The Tyrannicides statue was more than just a piece of sculpture. It was a political declaration, an artistic revolution, and an architectural milestone. It marked a transition from rigid archaic forms to fluid, lifelike depictions of human action, laying the groundwork for the masterpieces of the classical era. More importantly, it integrated public art into the very fabric of political life, demonstrating how architecture and sculpture could serve as tools of civic identity and collective memory. The statue of Harmodius and Aristogeiton was not merely a tribute to two men, it was a monument to the enduring power of democracy.